Today is December the 27th, and it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and it's about 65 degrees outside, so it's really pretty. And I'm taking down some of the Christmas decorations and kind of cleaning up beds. And one of the things I'm going to do is move some pepper plants into individual pots and put them in the garage, and just to see how they'll do. And it's just gorgeous. The air is really still, and it's quiet and beautiful. So I'll do my garden diary. I'm gonna start with something that's really pretty right now, and that's I have an actual dahlia that's blooming. I think it's so pretty. And then there's some gazanias. And my petunias. And we have covered these maybe 2 nights or 3 nights when it was supposed to get really cold, but the rest of the time we've left them uncovered, and so far they don't seem to be too bothered by a little bit of the cold. It only gets to be about maybe 45 degrees in the backyard as the low, so that's not too bad. It must be okay for those anyway. Here's my kale, flowering kale. I noticed that was in the grocery store for $1.99 a pound, so I guess you can eat it. I thought it was ornamental. There's all the violas. There's another. What's really interesting, I don't know if I ever showed this angle of my yard before, but our neighbors cut down their trees, so it looks so bare. This is the coleus. It isn't doing very well at all. It doesn't like the cold. The ones out front have died. I'll pan back to the yard. So, taking down this tree, and we still have the Christmas bulbs up there. I think those will probably go a few more days because my husband put those up, but the ones that I decorated, I'm ready to take down. I'm going to be going to Colorado Springs in for a couple of weeks. So I leave Sunday, and I want to get my stuff put away. There's the firethorn. Look at all those berries. It's so pretty. I love plants that give you color in the winter. I mean, there's so many things that give you summer color that it's nice when you can find something that'll give you winter color. That is a heavenly bamboo, and it should have already turned red, but I think it's warm enough back there that it's not noticing the cold. It's still, I guess it's got a little bit of red on it, but not much. As you can tell, I haven't swept up too many leaves. The lantana, there's even some lantana that are still trying to produce some flowers. This one, that's what usually happens, is the leaves turn dark and fall off. Cape honeysuckle's looking good being here. It stays warm against the wall. I'm not quite sure what to do with red kale. I've got to read up on it. We took out the zucchini, but we've got leaves laying here that I'll put in the compost here shortly. This Cape honeysuckle's starting to get dark, so it's getting more cold. This pepper plant still doing pretty good. It's got its own little climate going, but the poblanos are gone. And then these are the pots I'm going to use, and I'm going to try to save some of the peppers, like especially like this, maybe this jalapeno here. The bottom of it's still doing really well. This jalapeno, the top is not doing well, but the bottom is nice and green and lush. And the same way with this one, the top's kind of eaten away, but the bottoms are good. So, and then I'm going to harvest all of these peppers that are out here. There's quite a few of them. We've covered the peppers several nights, but like this one, we've decided to just let it go now, and you can see the cold's gotten this one. But this one right next to it looks pretty good. And then there's my bell pepper. So that plant doesn't look all that. Eggplant's gone. My husband took out the basil and stuff that was in that bed. So there's my strawberries, and you can see there's some hiding out with the red leaves. Here's that dainty pepper. These peppers, these local peppers, haven't liked the cold. And then this is my winter garden. Some kale and cauliflower and broccoli and cilantro. Some parsley, still looks good. We took out a tomato plant, the tomato plant that was here, and it had galling on the roots, so I think that's from some of those bad nematodes. So we got to figure out what to do with the soil, how to fix that. We cut down the pepper plants that were in here. And there's my table. The dill doesn't seem, it's turning dark. It doesn't like the cold. And this cilantro is doing okay, but the one back in the corner has gotten hit by some cold, I think. I cut part of that eggplant and left part of it. We cleaned up all of the marigolds that were long here. So the trees, they're looking haggard. That doesn't look right. I think it was supposed to have dropped like these two. And that tree there is also stressed. So the trees have fallen on the neighbors. I mean, the leaves have fallen on the neighbors' trees. And that noise you hear is I think them finishing up cutting down the stuff in their front yard. So. Around the fountain. The mums over there are giving it up. Oh, there's still some antenna here. I don't think this one gets as cold either. You can see the firethorn up here at the top. I'm sure that doesn't look real great to everybody else, but to me, we've never gotten anything to grow in that spot. So the fact that we're getting anything at all there is pretty awesome. Pretty the Oviola. My garden diary. Today is December 22nd, Friday, and this is what we got out of the garden. And this is from the square bed. We decided not to cover it tonight. It's supposed to get down lower than freezing tonight, and so we covered our petunias, and we covered one pepper bed, the long rectangular one, and then we just picked these. Today is Saturday the 23rd of December, and I got some greens that I harvested, and I'm going to make me a green smoothie. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It took us maybe 20 minutes or so, but we took most of the peppers out of the bed and we harvested a bunch, and I'll show. I've got some jalapenos. I've got in this pot is my bell peppers. Down at the end is some Fresnos and another bell pepper. You can see it's a fairly big one, and then some more jalapenos, and then I tried saving one little volunteer tomato plant. I don't even know what kind it is, and this is in the orange pots, a jalapeno as well. So this one's still got a lot of peppers on it. So what we're thinking we're going to do is go ahead and put them in the garage tonight. Then I'll water them in tomorrow. They just got watered before we pulled them. And then we'll probably fertilize them at some point too. See how they do. It's an experiment. Today is Wednesday, December 27th, and we pulled a bunch of our pepper plants for the end of the season, and this is all the peppers we harvested. This is my bell pepper, and then you can see there's guajillos and Fresnos and jalapenos, but the whole big basket full of peppers. It's all peppers.